And this is actually a freebie from Uline because we've been ordering so many boxes and glass bottles and packaging stuff. So, yeah.
Just a U-line.
Are you going to tell me when we're like...
Oh, no, it's going.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, I should...
Hello.
I'm not going to be in focus. Oh, I should get off.
All right.
We just want to say we're sorry. We posted it as a private link by accident. We're still learning. It's community college.
Yeah, it is.
We're doing our best.
Yeah.
But we're excited to be here.
Welcome.
We're sorry we're late.
Welcome, everyone. Two bartenders on the bench. Oh, yeah, we'll get a little bit wider. Better. Oh, I got a nice armrest here.
Where are we, James?
We're on a nice bench here in the
people
woods.
Don't no idea where this is.
That's good. It's a secret bench.
No, it's under the...
This bench, we're actually sitting almost under the eaves of the restaurant here. We're overlooking Lake Union, sort of. Mostly we have trees. I'm joined here today by Eric Hawkinen from Roquette, longtime bartender in the city. I think I first met you at the Zigzag.
Yeah.
Probably around 10 years ago.
Yeah, that stands to reason.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And where did you grow up?
Tacoma, Washington.
You're from Tacoma? That's
From
right.
Tacoma.
Because I asked you when I went down there, where do I need to go? And you told me...
Back then it was probably 1022.
Yeah, 1022.
Yeah.
And I had a great time there.
Yeah.
In fact,
Drinking in Hilltop.
the brewer, I believe, I might be wrong, the brewer of this tea, Shane, maybe dated the bartender or knew the bartender's brother who had been there forever.
Who brewed, wait, which tea brewer brewed this tea?
This is a tea from Engine House 9.
Oh, E9?
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah. We're back at
6th Avenue. Yeah, man, I know it well.
Yeah.
I was going in there when I was 17.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you could go in when you were 18.
Shane, the brewer, is good friends with Jeff Robinson, who's one of our dining room managers.
Cool, yeah.
And so, aside from the fact that I think they make really good beer, we just have a great relationship because I like Shane.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, E9's killing it, man. They, I remember when E9, I mean, I'm 28 now, so, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you're making me feel real old there for a second.
Anybody who believes that should stop drinking now. No, when E9, I started going in there, so that would have been like 96. And
Wow.
they were not known for the quality of their beer back then.
No.
And so when my friend Matt Storm, who owns Masonry, he was like, no, E9 is killing it. I'm like, we talking about the same E9? He's like, dude, the beer's so good. And he gave me some. I was like, it has changed significantly.
He's the #1 supporter of E9.
Yeah, he's a fanboy if he's anything.
Yeah. Is he from Tacoma too?
Matt, I don't think so, no.
All right.
No.
You just know him from Queen Anne and...
I just know him from drinking at the Masonry.
Perfect.
And we became fast friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you move up to Seattle?
98.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
Not long out of high school, you came to Seattle?
I think 3 months after I graduated high school, I began matriculating at the University of Washington. Yeah.
Did you always work in restaurants or you something else?
Yeah, I started when I was like 16.
Really?
On the Tacoma waterfront.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lobster Shop South. Shout
Lobster
out.
Shop?
Yeah.
So
I was a busboy.
That's crazy. So the owners, Katie Driscoll, and her husband. Oh, forgive me if I forget it.
Denny Driscoll.
Yes.
Yeah.
They come to our salon.
No.
Really? My wife's known them for like close to 20 years, probably.
No kidding. Yeah. I maybe met him once or twice. Yeah. I mean, I was a lowly busboy.
Did you see Katie a lot though?
I don't even remember Katie.
You don't even
No.
I know she's there a lot now.
Really? Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Wait a second. Nah. I'll have a revelation later.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's always fun. It's crazy. Small restaurant world. It really is.
For sure. Yeah.
Especially in Seattle.
My mom got me the job.
Really?
My mom waited tables there. Yeah, she was a teacher, and in the summers waited tables. To just because she never stopped working. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What are you gonna do? Take the summer off and do nothing?
Wholesome stuff with your kids? Nah.
No.
Yeah. Let's get him a job busting tables.
Yeah. I worked in a restaurant at 15 and a half.
Mm.
It was
that legal?
Worst decision of my life. So I used to love the Sizzler. So I wanted to work.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I wanted to work
amazing.
at the Sizzler. I used to love it. Like I would want to go there for like middle school, high school, like birthdays or whatever. And so I was like, I'm gonna go get a job at the Sizzler. And I made it about 3 weeks as a busboy / dishwasher at an all-you-can-eat sort of serve and steak. So many plates.
Oh my God.
So much food wasted. And yeah, I hated it. It wasn't fun.
That wasn't the Sizzler in Tacoma, was it?
No, I grew up north, so
Okay.
it was Sizzler in Linwood.
Didn't Sizzler just declare bankruptcy like last week?
They did. I was thankful for that.
Yeah. Really doesn't do much for your 401k, right?
No. Yeah, I don't even know if they offered it.
rollover,
I don't even know
yeah.
if they offered it then.
Yeah, no. To a 15-and-a-half-year-old? I don't think so.
No.
This is good. What are we drinking?
Barley tea from E9. It's the Pilsner.
It is the Pilsner.
T-Dome
okay.
Pilsner. Do you have a question?
Yeah, for those just joining us,
Yes.
who is Eric and why do we love him so much? And what role does he play in this city?
Well, so I've known Eric, like I said, around maybe 10 years. I would go into the Zigzag, not as often as I once did, but every once in a while I would go in Eric. And I want to say, much like Murray, I feel like a lot of the younger bartenders would come in there and see you and learn from you. Like my first like Scotch whiskey was with Murray. I had an Ardbeg 10. It was 22, and I'm pretty sure like you've had that same experience with a lot of this newest tier of bartenders that have come up.
Yeah, I definitely have, and it's funny that you would say that because my first single malt Scotch in a restaurant that I paid for was also with Murray at the bistro, and it was an Ardbeg 21.
Okay, are you showing me up?
No, I'm just saying, like, I was getting to the point that, I'm nervous. It's Murray. There's like, and I had already been his bar back, incidentally. So like, this story goes even farther back.
Wow.
But I went to go see him once he'd gone back to the bistro. I'm like, Murray, what do I owe you? He's like, I don't know. That's on me. Like, I didn't even know what the tip. So I just kind of like emptied my wallet on the bar, which wasn't much. I mean, it was modest to begin with,
Yeah.
but it felt like a lot.
It felt like a lot.
Yeah.
It felt like a lot for me too. I was like this, I thought it was hot stuff coming from this bar in Edmonds, Washington, where I served a lot of like flaming Dr. Peppers and draft beer, and big drink was like a lemon drop. And then I'm coming to the city and I'm like at this bar and so far out of my comfort zone. I realized at that time that I actually knew zero about spirits and cocktails and had a long ways to go.
When was that?
That would have been, 2002, 2003.
So he was at the Zigzag at that point.
I believe so.
Yeah, he had just gone over in like 01 or 02.
Yeah.
If memory serves.
And I knew nothing about cocktails, cocktail bars. It was something, I was working at Duke's on Queen Anne.
Dude, cocktail bars weren't even a thing yet.
They weren't even a thing. And
Yeah.
somebody just mentioned, hey, if you want to go and have a really good cocktail, go here. And so I tried it out and I ended up going back pretty regularly.
Yeah. And it was impossible to find if you didn't know the area. And even and I lived down there. I lived at the corner of basically above the old Wild Ginger. Mm-hmm. Or right next door. And when
really
somebody
close.
Yeah, I mean like a block away.
Yeah, you're like a block.
And when somebody described to me where it was, and I may have been inebriated at the time, I couldn't figure. I mean, like on the harbor steps, like no, not the harbor steps.
Yeah.
And eventually I found it and
How long
stayed
did
for
you
10
work there?
years.
You were there for 10 years?
Almost 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah. It was.
Very rare in this industry.
It is, especially these days whenever, all the young hotshot bartenders have, it's like a badge of honor to have 3 jobs. And if you want to get on that subject.
Did you ever have 3?
No, two plus when we were starting Back Bar Project.
Yeah.
So
But those weren't.
that didn't really count.
That didn't count. That's
No.
something different.
No, I wasn't tending bar at 3 places at the same time. That's too much. I thought 2 was too much.
Have you been on the board of the Bartenders Guild or anything?
No,
No?
I never have.
I
I've
thought you had.
I've been in like a deep orbit. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Kind of there with you.
Yeah, I know what's going on, but I'm not part of really anything.
Yeah.
Was the bar in Edmonds Rory's?
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Was it
It
really?
was Rory's, yeah. I was there for quite a while. I left on not terribly great terms. Sorry, Jason. Try to do better.
Inauspicious terms.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was lost. I was making money. I was staying up till 6 in the morning. I would go snowboarding before my shift.
Yeah.
Be tired all day long, then get going again at 3 in the morning after cleaning. And it was.
And James, for those people who don't know, you're the head barman at Canlis.
I am the head barman here.
For the last how many years?
We'll be pushing 13 here soon.
13 years.
13.
How have you grown up as a bartender in the last 20 years?
Well, as I was telling him, I have definitely become more reclusive. I don't go out as much. I don't really even know why. I don't want to go and gamble on a new place a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
I have my few safe spots, places that I love, and I go there. In terms of growing here, I've learned a great deal about whiskey, about scotch, about cocktails and history. I really find that I enjoy piecing together different things, art, literature, ingredients, and putting them all together into sort of this finished, refined product. That's sort of what I found the greatest joy in, the naming, the glassware, all these little things that are seemingly unimportant, but when you put them all together, it's really cool.
The whole experience.
Yeah. And then, working on some things like cooperage and learning how to take apart a barrel and fix it and what the aging process is like. Those are sort of the things that are really firing me up right now.
Yeah. Wow.
Can you tell the story of leaving Zigzag and why Roquette, and what is that bar all about, and what do you hope it to be for the city?
Yeah, I left Zigzag at the end of 2016, and I had known for probably a year or two that I was on my personal own slow trajectory out of the place. I was just I needed to do something else. I needed to expand my horizons. And so I started checking out different options, and I was approached for a few different projects. One of them, which was written up quite a bit at the time, was called the Pink Lady, and that is a bar space that I still hold the lease to. Underneath
really?
the Lusty, I had the lease for it.
I was so excited for that.
I'm just waiting for them to.
For that.
I'm still waiting for those guys to develop that building, but that's a whole different
story. Do you know
story.
what the Lusty Lady is? Are you familiar?
Well, I mean, it's the most famous marquee in Seattle.
Yeah, you used to live right by it.
Yeah, I missed the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But so when I was told that development of the Lusty Lady, the building that Lusty Lady was going to be in, was being put on hold indefinitely, I had already put all of the, basically we just pivoted the investment that had already been put together and opened. We found a space that's right next door to a restaurant that my partner owns, which is Umi Sake House, which I actually opened as a bartender, and found 1,000 square foot cocktail bar space that's just perfect because it was under 50 seats, which is exactly what I wanted. And I was really going for a kind of a London, Paris, New York vibe with it, and we got it. It's a tiny little cocktail bar that we'll never make any money from, but we'll sure have a hell of a lot of fun.
Okay, we have a question.
Yeah.
Negroni. Is it equal parts, or what is your personal opinion on the perfect Negroni recipe? Each of you.
I'm of the mind of keeping it equal parts. Again,
and for those who don't know what the parts are,
the equal parts of gin, Campari, and vermouth, and I'm already drinking alcohol. I feel like a lot of people don't like the extra sugar maybe in the Campari and the vermouth, so they want to change the proportions a little bit. But I like the sweetness. I like the extra bitterness. So I am always for equal parts.
Yeah.
And on the rocks. Always on the rocks.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah?
Yeah. Except if it's I don't know, sometimes Cochi Torino can be a little
Too bitter?
A little too sweet,
Too
a
sweet?
little too rich.
Okay.
But so I'll kind of tone it down from there. But or you can always, if you do equal parts, you can always just use 1 ounce of Navy strength gin. If you're feeling, real saucy, it'll kind of.
Yeah, the cranberry tea with Kelsey was.
You guys are drinking cranberry tea on the rocks.
That was one bartender on a bench.
Yes.
Eventually.
Sorry, Kelsey. Not trying to sell you out.
Okay, James.
Yes.
Last time with Kelsey, speaking of which, you talked about the Savoy cocktail book.
Yes.
Other great resources for the home bartender, or even not, or even the professional. Like, what is the essential library?
I have 3 books that I strongly recommend. I basically make all my bartenders go out and get these books. One of them is the Savoy cocktail book, just because it, for me, has all the classic recipes and talks even a little bit like variations of them and when to use it and when to not. The other one is The Fine Art of Mixing Drinks by David A. Embry.
David Embry, yeah.
And this, for me, like it gives you a framework to classify and categorize drinks, a way of talking about the different varieties and learning how you can kind of mess within the different types of drinks. It's different sours and creating variations.
It's
there.
a lot of why in that drink or in that book, yeah.
And then the final one for me sort of speaks more to the bartender than the home bartender, but it's how to think of your space, how to think of your guests, how to think of the naming conventions for your cocktails, and it is The Cocktails of the Ritz Paris by Colin Peterfield.
Yeah, that's
Those are the 3 books that I basically make them all have in their library.
Yeah, I definitely like Embry for me was one that was passed on to me from Murray.
Yeah.
He's a big Embry guy. Paul Harrington, who is a Washington native and I believe lives in Spokane. Architect by trade, but created the book Cocktail back in the late 90s. And that's a great book to have around if you can find it. I believe there was only ever 1 printing of it, but it's killer. And dude, if like the hows and whys, I gotta say like the Death and Company book and what are the Cocktail Codex, the follow-up to it, same people, so good.
Those are, and they're dense reading.
They are, but it's not as dense as like Dave Arnold's book. Like that's you have to have all that equipment to do that kind of stuff. With the Death and Company guys, those, there's definitely some scientific stuff going on, but they have like full pages of just like spirits and liqueurs and flavors that like each other, right? And it's just this great, almost like infographic page that you'll go back to so often. Yeah, it's really cool.
Well done.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
We got some good ones. Do either of you have a favorite local distillery, and which spirit do they make that you prefer?
I'm gonna break hearts here. I keep getting asked this question, and it's really hard for me to support the local distilleries.
Is it the one in our basement?
We're gonna talk about that one. And it's not the distilleries or the master distillers' fault, but it's the way that I feel like it's the way Washington has sort of funneled them into this use of all local ingredients as a large percentage. They're gonna have many more years before I feel like they really great products. For the same price, I can get a fine bottle of scotch. I'm getting, for me, an unfinished bottle of local
like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, it's
Washington
just
whiskey is.
It just doesn't have the
Go get a 10-year Lefroy.
It's just hard especially in terms of like value for it. I get supporting the local economy.
Yeah, but that's not the question. If you had to choose a favorite, what's your favorite?
Oh, if I have to choose
you have to have at least one.
I'm all ears.
I'm gonna have to go with Westland just because I feel like they are on the right track. They are putting money where it needs to be put to come up with a really polished product down the road. I think they'll be the first to win the race.
Can I separate this from perhaps those distilleries that started with a lot of money and those who probably did not.
Yeah.
Westland, love them, great. They had a great runway going in. Otherwise, I would say Copperworks. They're very innovative. They do a lot of cool stuff. I love all the barrel finishes they do. And they're up for trying a lot of things. And I like the fact that they create their distillate from a beer they buy from Elysian.
Yeah.
Which is something that like I knew about, but I didn't really appreciate until like about a year ago. I went down and visited Marco down at Charbet in Northern California, which if you haven't been and you get a chance, dude, they are awesome. They're like the most punk rock distillers.
But it's good. It's good product, fresh ingredients.
So
you
good.
You can taste the fruit or whatever it is they're trying to express to you.
And the reason I bring it up is because he buys all of the beer for his distillate from Racer 5.
Okay.
Or from not Racer 5. Sorry, what's the name? They make Racer 5. Bear Republic.
Bear Republic.
Yeah. And so he keeps it local, just in a different way.
Okay. A question I've always wondered.
But you've been too afraid to ask?
Me personally. No, I'm reading it. When I walk into a busy bar and I don't want to ask for anything too time-consuming because the bartenders are getting hammered, not drunk, they're super busy. What's a great common cocktail that won't make me look like a jerk when I order it, but still like a really good cocktail? I'm not ordering, like a vodka soda. Or nothing against vodka soda people, but
Yeah. Old-fashioned for me. You go in, every bar should know how to make you a great old-fashioned. It doesn't take too long. It's not too many ingredients. They should be able to make it quickly. And for me, it's something that I feel like bars want to take pride in and do well. So even if they're busy, they're going to make it well.
If I'm not ordering off the menu, I would probably just order a Negroni. It'll generally kick your order up to the front of the line.
You will.
Yeah, because it's so easy. Everybody knows it's assumed that it's equal parts.
Right. Okay, reverse question.
Hold on. But to that, usually they're actually making, they'll look at their whole ticket board, right? If it's busy, and look at what other people are ordering too. If you see everybody ordering martinis, you're like, oh, I'll get a martini because they can make more of them at once. Whereas, in terms of helping the bartender out with your order.
I literally had a nightmare about this last night. Somehow I had a bar that had space for a 24 top in the back, and they all wanted custom cocktails. And wow.
Oh, that is canless. You do have a private dining space that will seat up to 25 and on occasion.
Do you love it or hate it when someone comes and they're like, bartender's choice, or like...
When I have the time, I love it.
Got it.
Because you can really communicate, you can really engage with somebody. But when you're not, the order is coming through a third party and there are no details.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Which drink when I walk in do I order and you lose all respect for me?
I'm going to pass this to you first. I got to think about it.
You know what? I don't think there is one.
Oh, come on.
Bullet old fashioned?
No, I mean, I keep a bottle of Jägermeister in my freezer.
Old fashioned with soda and orange.
For a master sommelier. No, it's like, I might just kind of chuckle to myself, but I'm only chuckling to myself because there's a time and place for everything. Yeah, maybe it's not canless, but maybe that's just what you really want, and I should be able to give you what you really want.
That's just such the right answer.
But I know.
I want you to be angry, bartender on a bench.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you.
There was an iced tea.
No, here's one that just really irked me. We had somebody come in and ask, and we were busy. It's like Friday night. It's like, what's the one drink that takes you the longest? I see that you're busy. I was like, man, whatever you do, please don't order a Ramus Gin Fizz. And he was like, okay. And 2 minutes later, he came back and ordered a Ramus Gin Fizz. And it's a drink that takes you 10 minutes to make. And
wait, just to be a jerk, he did
Yeah,
it?
he did it. Just to be a jerk. Don't order a drink just to be a jerk. He was trying to push buttons, fire me up, and it worked.
You should have just poured him a glass of warm ice water.
No, because I actually do take pride in my Ramus Gin Fizz. It's supposed to be a cool drink, and so I got to do it.
Dude,
Okay.
when that
The
drink, when
bartend-
it's made well, is so good.
It's so good. And the
Yeah.
bartender next to me was, like, couldn't believe that I was like doing it well.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
I love tequila, not smoky tequila, straightforward, but I can never come up with a good cocktail for tequila. I typically just sip it or take a shot. What's a good entry-level tequila cocktail that I can make at home or great to order in a bar?
Dude, tequila and tonic.
Yes.
So good.
It's so good.
With lime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so good.
I drink a lot of those in the summer.
Yeah, it's killer.
That sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
It's like a gin and tonic.
Citrus, yeah, both
but with
tequila.
tequila.
So you're getting
Yeah.
like a little bit like that peach and honey from the tequila.
Okay, one more.
So back in the day when I used to bust into my parents' liquor cabinet and make drinks, there was a cocktail from the Mr. Boston's bar book called the Purple Cloak. That's
Great
actually
name.
that's really good. It's tequila, lime, and grenadine. It's sort of like
Jack
margarita
Rose or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a little bitters in there if I remember right too, but it's purpley and citrusy, and then you're getting slightly a little more fruit from the grenadine in there. Purple Cloak, like
Sounds
easy
great.
3-ingredient cocktail.
I've never seen that drink.
It's something weird that I've been carrying around with me since I was 13.
Okay.
Yes, 13.
I just want to give a shout out to Anne, who just said doing it well is the best revenge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ann.
Yeah.
It's so
was-
true. Okay, I love a hot toddy. Are there other variations or ways to be creative with a warm cocktail? Eric.
Ooh. Tea. Instead of
Like
just
black tea?
black tea. I literally just did a consulting job for a Chinese restaurant that's opening in the ID, and there's a lot of tea on the menu.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the equivalent of, I could use vodka in this drink, but if I use gin or tequila or something else, it's going to impart that many more layers. If you're adding water, why not add tea or something to that effect?
Do you have a cool go-to hot black tea cocktail recipe top of your head?
Ooh,
I drink a lot of blueberry tea. So curacao, amaretto,
Orange
Earl Grey,
Pico, yeah.
Earl Grey or orange pico tea.
Yeah.
Garnished with the lemon.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Can we have
I-
those later tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
So depending on what he said for our tea tonight, I knew it was going to be cold, and I was going to make a batch of blueberry tea.
really?
I drink tea, not coffee. So
yeah.
I drink.
I
a lot
love a blueberry tea.
Yeah.
Any secrets? We have about 4 or 5 more minutes. That's it.
Okay.
We're out of time.
Oh wow.
Any secrets to a good margarita? And for the record, for those listening at home, which is everyone, James, a margarita is the cocktail you want on your deathbed with a beer.
Yeah, with the Pacifico.
And I happen to know that you make the world's finest margarita.
Oh, thank you.
And I've drunk over 100 of them. So I respect no one's opinion more than yours. What is the secret and the recipe to the best margarita?
So for me, it's a little more sugar than I think most people want to put in there, and a little more lime juice, and maybe a little more tequila. Probably a lot of tequila.
Yeah.
So it's just a bigger margarita.
Yeah. No, because there's curacao too.
Oh, less.
But when I make it for you, I do 2 ounces of tequila, 3/4 ounce of curacao, 3/4 ounce of lime juice, and a 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. So actually, quite a bit more curacao
you put
and
lemon in it?
lime juice.
Oh,
Lime juice. If I misspoke. Yeah.
is your
Orangey and sweeter.
what's the for people who think of bad margaritas? Is it the lack of the fresh juice? Is that the number one thing that?
I don't ever think of a margarita as being bad.
No.
Unless
then
there's
what's
not
the
enough,
secret to a great
unless,
one?
You're
unless
not
there's
setting
not
me
enough
up for
tequila.
success here. Yeah, I mean, like, you can still make a passable margarita if you have good curacao and fresh lime juice, and the tequila's bad.
Yeah, the tequila doesn't have to be good.
It really doesn't have to be that good.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're wasting good tequila in a margarita.
I talked to this a little bit in the Cocktails 101, but cocktails were basically created to make bad spirits taste good.
Yeah, for sure.
So as long as your modifiers, your liqueur and your juice are good, your spirit can just be so-so and get along.
What's the deal with milk punch? How do you make it?
Have you made milk punch?
Pass. No, I've never made it.
It's a long process. You're basically curdling the milk and then straining that out, clarifying it by curdling the fat out of the milk. It sounds gross, but it tastes delicious.
Tastes good. Yeah,
it tastes really good. There's other ways where you can kind of cheat using a super bag for straining, or what's the thing that spins, the spinny thing?
Yeah, circumnambulator.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, rapid fire here.
Centrifuge.
What's the difference between creme Yvette and creme de violet? Do you have a favorite brand?
Creme Yvette has raspberry and strawberry in it, in addition to violet. And then Violet's like just violet flavored liqueur.
Do you have a favorite brand?
Well, Creme Yvette only really has one producer now, and I think it's just called Creme Yvette.
Brizard doesn't do it anymore?
Oh, maybe Brizard does it, yeah, but you don't see it in the States much.
You don't see it much here, yeah.
Yeah, and
that's the only one I really know of.
Yeah, and then Violette, I would just say Giffard. Yeah.
Favorite tonics to have in my home bar. What's the tonic that should be in my home bar?
Schweppes.
Fever Tree.
My ideal perfect gin and tonic is Gordon's Gin and Schweppes tonic with a lemon.
What's your ratio?
They're basically equal parts.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to measure and think about it.
Yeah.
This is at home. Like I just pour them in, but like that's what I like. But again, I have like the history with it.
Yeah. I used Schweppes for forever, and then I finally got turned on to, I was aware of Fever Tree, that I started drinking it, and I was like, God damn, this is so much better. Like,
I keep going back and forth.
Dude, I can't. It's so good. Yeah. Especially the lemon tonic.
The Mediterranean, the Indian.
The Indian for like my general use, but the lemon tonic with anything, like any brown spirits.
Okay.
So good. And you don't really see it much.
No.
And then the cucumber. Dude, the cucumber with green chartreuse.
I haven't tried it.
Blow your mind.
All right, I'm going to try it.
Next level. It's so good.
Next tea.
If I'm trying to avoid sugar, is there an alternate to simple syrup in recipes?
You can make if you're trying to avoid sugar, I would either steer you towards agave or a syrup with monk fruit.
Oh.
Monk fruit?
Oh.
Monk fruit, yeah. It's 0 calorie. Neither one of those will spike your, your blood sugar very high, yeah. Monk fruit less so, because I don't think there's any calories, where agave has some calories. But your glycemic index, like they're low on both of those.
Yeah.
And they taste good and not weird.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 minutes. Jay Stringer wants to know, James, will you ever sell me the Canless bitters?
Yeah. If you had gotten one of these kits, you probably would have gotten some.
They were hard to get. What's in your bitters that people love so much? What's your recipe?
What makes it is it gets rounded out by like this burnt maple sugar in the pan. It's like caramelized, and then the ingredients go over that, and it kind of adds like this roundness to it. That's what they're an orange bitter, so cardamom heavy, but then the maple sugar is what like does it. Okay,
Eric, for someone who only drinks red wine, I want to introduce them to cocktails and try to convince them that cocktails are delicious.
Yeah.
What's a good gateway cocktail?
Greenwich Sour, which is basically a rye whiskey sour, and then you float red wine on top of it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, that is so cool. Oh my gosh, I have so many questions. What's a good cocktail to make with creme de cacao or creme de menthe?
Creme de menthe, a stinger. Go 3-to-1, and make sure it's white creme de menthe. And if you can find the Giffard menthe pastis, that's the best one you're ever gonna find. And I'm not here to just plug Giffard, but like
it's delicious.
It's so good.
It is so good.
And you go like 3-to-1 cognac and that, and you just right over ice, just dump into glass. It's so good.
Okay, final question for you both. What is the most prized bottle on your own liquor shelf?
At home?
I think at home.
At home?
Your house is burning, and the wife and kids are safe.
Wife and kids are safe.
The dog's okay.
House is burning.
You can grab one bottle.
I have a bottle of 2014 Antique Collection WL LaRue that I'll grab. That'd be the first one.
It's a good bottle.
Bourbon.
Is it opened?
It's unopened.
Oof.
That's the one I'm probably going to grab.
Yeah.
I've been just like saving it, wanting to try it. I look at it and...
Okay, James, what if the restaurant's burning?
The restaurant's burning? There is a bottle of Mortlock in the wine cellar from... Oh, I can't remember the private bottler. It's a 21 year. It is the most sublime scotch I've ever had. I've told you Mortlock's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mortlock.
Yeah, that's my favorite scotch.
No shit.
Yeah.
I want to pick your brain on that. That's got me interested.
All right.
Okay, Eric.
I have a bottle of El Hogorio Espadín that was distilled in the year 2000 by the patriarch of the family, who has now passed away at like 83 years old. Wow. Yeah, exactly. And it was aged in glass for like 12 years.
That's
before
crazy.
they bottled it. Yeah.
You've gone down there quite a bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
All right.
That's a cool trip if you ever get a chance. Like that's.
I have not,
dude.
but I would like to. Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
I think that's all we have time for.
It was fast and furious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
It was fun.
Thank you,
Yeah.
James.
Eric's bar is open.
It's open.
It's literally open right now.
Yeah, it's open. He's like not there working.
And
Somebody is.
And I'm sure you're making people feel safe.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We have, obviously there's no bar seating. The booths are all socially distanced. All precautions are taken, yeah.
And remind people one more time, we've had a lot of people join late. What's the name of your bar, and what's the one cocktail they should order when they go to it?
The name of the bar is Roquette. It's at 2232 First Avenue in Belltown, basically the corner of First and Bell. And if you're gonna have one drink there, I'd say drink the Normandy Old Fashioned. Yeah, Normandy Old Fashioned. It's equal parts Calvados and American Apple Brandy.
National Calvados Day.
When?
Today.
Get out of here.
You didn't know?
No, I would have brought a bottle.
Well, you're gonna have some after this.
Shit. All right. Man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
That's National Calvados Day. You didn't know?
I don't know. No, it's not, you know.